Wajir North.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Every speaker who had been given the floor had congratulated you and the speaker. I know you have been inundated with so much congratulations, and I would wish to join them for being the deputy speaker and the speaker himself, and that was a position well deserved. Secondly, Madam Speaker, the people of Wajir North are worth being celebrated. They elected me to Parliament in the 11th Parliament, sent me for a leave in the 12th Parliament, and felt wise that I should be back to represent them in the 13th Parliament. So due to that, I say I'm grateful to them and shall remain indebted. Madam Speaker, fast forward to the presidential speech. I'm proud to have elected His Excellency the President. I come from an area that is majorly painted orange or red, and it wasn't easy to come with a win using a UDA ticket, facing 7 Azimio candidates against 1 Kenya Kwanza. It wasn't an easy battle. Luckily, I came out triumphant. Madam Speaker, the President's address was apt to the various issues facing the country. Of concern to me were issues of constitutionalism. His Excellency the President had sworn in 6 judges who had gone through the due process in their recruitment, as was done by the Judiciary Service Commission, and the only role left for the then President, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, was to swear the 6 judges. That wasn't done, and I'm happy my President, the newly elected President of Kenya, the 5th, had fidelity for the law and sworn the 6 judges accordingly. I'm also happy that in his address, he has affirmed that the judiciary fund shall be operationalized. That's a great move towards constitutionalism. He also emphasized the fact that the judiciary shall be cascading to the constituency level, taking justice to the people up to the constituency so that they can handle much needed justice by the locals in the grassroots communities, more so commercial and corruption cases. I was a bit taken aback when a former speaker had raised that the President did not address corruption issues. Actually, he made a bold undertaking that he will devolve the judiciary to the Constitution to make sure that cases regarding commercial and corruption cases are expedited accordingly. That came the first time in the history of the Republic. Madam Speaker, this President has brought hope to the rule of law by ensuring that the IG, the Inspector General, being the accounting officer as espoused in the Constitution, is fully implemented. That was a bold move that we expected him to do, and he did it in the first few days after taking office. One other issue the President addressed himself to is he implored the House to review the standing orders so that we can have the executive on the floor of this House and we can interrogate them on matters of policy and what they are doing towards service delivery. That is welcome, Madam Speaker. However, we should be a bit cautious on matters of separation of powers. Separation of powers is a thin thing and it is well needed. We must not confuse different arms of government. However, it is important that the previous position of this House is restored as it was when the question time was the most interesting times of debate in this Parliament. Further, Madam Speaker, the President talked on agriculture. He emphasized that it is important to handle matters of production than the soft approaches to levies and subsidies. I appreciate his move, and I feel that is the right way to go. He's talking of agriculture from an expert-oriented position. Madam Speaker, on matters business environment, Kenya is the first, if not the second, I guess, in Africa and in the world, the most unequal country. The GDP is in the hands of 8,300 people only, according to the latest statistics from Oxfam. 8,300 control, or rather own, 99% of the GDP of this country. The President has emphasized and promised that he will improve on the business environment to make sure that the inequality gap is reduced accordingly. Madam Speaker, further, he talked of issues of public-private partnership in regard to access to water, to increase access to water from 60% to 80%. That is a welcome move. Water is a basic thing in life we all need, more so in the rural communities and ourselves. Inasmuch as I appreciate his approach, emphasis, or rather consideration, is given to public or foreign investments that have the muscle, the bigger muscle. And what happened ordinarily is capital flight. Capital flight. I would urge the President to consider small-scale investors so that they can also go into the partnership and sell their water, deliver water, and get money. Otherwise, the approach in regard to public-private partnership is welcome. And that brings me to the Butte Megaban, which is a presidential flagship project he has been following for the last 10 years. I hope he will consider the Butte Megaban in Wajir North as part of the public-private partnership he promised. On universal health care, Madam Speaker, NHIF, as it stands now, carries the name insurance, but really does it operate like an insurance? It comes under the regulation and the supervision of Insurance Regulatory Authority, as it is in our statutes. But every year it requests for a waiver so that it is not supervised like the private insurance companies. That is to tell you that it's always hiding behind the name insurance. It doesn't collect premiums. I actually appreciate the approach the President has taken to overhaul NHIF and rebrand it to make sure that it is a universal health caregiver. And finally, I can see the lights are on, Madam. The President emphasized on drought. Drought is ravaging Wajir North and other parts of ourselves. I think we need to reconsider and relook our strategy to drought. We must bring on preparedness so that we can mitigate droughts before they are with us always. Otherwise, I appreciate and support the presidential speech. Thank you, Madam Speaker.